Birth by Sleep. We'll get it underway. Who wants to count down? I'll count you down. Does that work?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So counting from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
So
See you guys later.
This is for Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, Terra, beginner. Starts with probably everyone's least favorite, most RNG heavy split of all is orbs. I think every run I've ever seen, the majority of the restarts happen whether or not orbs went well or not.
Yeah, the problem with the orbs is they are not entirely random. Like if you hit them with a finisher or with 2 hits in the air, they just fly away. The biggest problem is the party members, because they just randomly knock away those orbs, which makes you not being able to hit them.
Yeah.
In the second phase, I think it's Koba, yeah, he's using the shot locks now. I see some people do it in the first phase, but it doesn't matter too much.
I personally do it in the first phase, but it's very much, you see a little bit of difference in everybody's
Yeah.
and how they tackle it.
But, oh,
Like
Slow already finished.
Out of orbs.
Okay, that was pretty good actually. That was a pretty good orbs. Wait, what time was it?
I didn't catch. Looks like a 105.
Yeah, 105, a little bit faster, but that's pretty good. It's not too bad at all. Okay.
And everybody else out by 117.
Wait, let me open the timer somewhere so I can see that as well.
We're gonna be moving on to the first world, which is gonna be Cinderella's castle. No, wait, no. Yeah,
Enchanted Dominion. So it's
my brain.
That's not Cinderella. That's
we were talking about another one
called?
of the ones before.
Aurora.
Get going. And the goal here, when we get in, there's a forced fight that we want to use Ventus's D-Link to try to get the drop that'll level it up. This is again RNG based because it can drop from any enemy, but we want it because it'll give us the ability to use haste, which will be very important for the next boss fights. And Slow's already got it.
Yeah, the problem is if you don't get it here, usually you would probably just reset. As we're in a marathon here, you would just go ahead and grind off some other enemies. The latest what I've seen from somebody who just didn't want to reset was getting it after the bridge section, which is killing, I think, like 30 enemies or something and not getting the drop. That's a rare case scenario that usually doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Oh, look. Oh, Slow. Wow, that finish was good. Slow finished the fight already.
Slow finished the fight perfectly, too.
Yeah, that fight was really
There we go.
good.
Okay, so everybody did get it here in this force fight.
Oh, that's really good.
Riku just got it.
So for the dealing drops, they usually give passive abilities and the different command deck. The different command deck is not really the important part. We focus more on the passive ability, at least for Ventus, because the passive ability is haste, which makes her just attack in a way faster shape. He's like, I think it's like twice as fast or something like that.
It's twice as fast.
Yeah, it basically shreds through the first 2 boss fights. After that, we don't use it anymore either.
But without it, those boss fights would take a whole lot longer.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, Slow is already on its way to the boss.
So you're about to see that full effect in action.
Like you just saw in the first fight, the way how Terra attacks, which is like not too slow, but it could be faster, yes. But now you're going to see what haste looks like on Terra and how Wheelmaster, the boss here, is just going to disappear.
Terra's all about heavy hits.
Yep.
Like that's his design. So the general kind of idea is that if somebody's doing a heavy hitter, they're going to be a little bit slower. But as you can see right there with haste, it's just flying through that boss fight.
Already first bar is gone. The finisher does a ton of damage. And now on this thing, what you saw on Slow, where Wheelmaster turned purple, it just makes him invincible for a few seconds. And ooh, he got jumpless.
Yes.
That's actually really good. Wow, dude. Slow is on an insane pace. I think
that is on fire. It's
424 Wheelmaster, I think.
The fourth. Yeah,
That's better than what I ever got, I think. That's insane.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, the purple face, like I wanted to say, is that basically makes the boss, whoever uses it, invincible for a few seconds, and if you touch him during that, you get hit. And Koba got jumpless as well. What is going on? This is insane. Let's see if Riku gets it.
Come on, Riku.
Oh, he used to finish it during the invincibility. That's not optimal, but not too bad. Jumpless as well!
We're gonna have to get them to share their secrets later, because they're all doing some nice jumpless bosses.
That is insane. And
So
before
Sloa
jumpless
is in Castle of Dreams or something like that. It's Cinderella's world. Doing another force fight, but this time using Aqua's D-Link. And again, we're trying to get Aqua's D-Link level up. Aqua's D-Link is 100% focused on magic. It's going to increase our magic capabilities, and there it is.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. The reason we really want that level up for the Aqua D-Link is it gives us access to the spell Magnera. And Magnera is probably the most useful spell in this entire run.
Yeah, because...
outside of fire.
Yeah. If you played any of the Kingdom Hearts games which have the spell Magnera, you know that Magnera just sucks in all the enemies. And yeah, basically rushes through the mob fights, because I think there's only one enemy in this game that doesn't get affected by Magnet from the normal unversed, and skipping the pulsing crystal. And yeah, the one
oh, Koba did not get that drop.
It's not too bad, but yeah. This is one D-Link drop. You want to get it, but you usually don't reset for that unless you're going for world record. So it's perfectly fine that he didn't get it. He can get it with the other fights. Yeah. Oh, and he clanked the wall, because chests are not so nice in this game. The BS characters don't like opening chests, and sometimes it just takes a little while. And during that time, you sometimes just hit the wall or whatever.
It's just like the problem that Final Fantasy 15 has. When your button for activate is the same as attack or jump, you're gonna have problems.
Yeah, I still have to play that game. So yeah. Now, all of the runners are escorts, and escorts are the second worst part after orbs, because those are completely tied to RNG as well, or to luck. Cinderella has to move, which she usually does all the time, as long as there are no enemies in front of her, or you can block her as well with Terra.
Yep.
But that's not too often the case. It's mostly the unversed blocking her, and if she stops, she will most of the time just stay around. Just like for Koba right now, she just stays around and doesn't do anything. That's horrible luck. Sloa had a pretty good first room though.
Sloa is having a great run.
Okay, use the finisher.
He's running into some unversed that are...
oh, and he got Diamond Dust there. You usually want to get critical impact here, because it is a little bit stronger than Diamond Dust.
Well, when you're in critical...
It's not too bad.
No. Diamond Dust will still increase your base damage, but critical impact puts you at a high crit rate.
Yeah.
It's like a 90% crit rate.
Is it?
Something like that.
I just know that it's increased. I don't know the exact numbers.
And
It's
almost
Sloa
complete.
just finished escorts with an amazing time. That's
I'm gonna check that time here in a second.
actually really good.
Yeah.
It's like 8:42, 8:43. Yeah, 8:43. That's ridiculous. Like, he could get a sub 10 Orchestra Master now. Is it Orchestra Master? Oh, is it?
Symphony Master.
Symphony Master, exactly.
So with Symphony Master, you're gonna see again Ventus's D-Link at work. The game's tooltip leads you to believe that you need to attack the instruments in order to defeat Symphony Master, but that's a lie. The instruments just create potential problems.
If you're... Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna focus on him, use our haste D-Link, and just destroy him.
for the instruments, the only thing they do on beginner is interrupting you, but usually if you just wail on the Symphony Master, you hit the instruments without intending to. On critical, however, you disable the instruments all the time, because on critical they can easily kill you, but that's luckily not a problem here. And he finished Orchestra Master.
Less than 10.
That is less than 10, and that is insane. That is 953. Oh, Riku fell a little bit behind due to the escorts.
Yeah.
They weren't so nice, he just finished it.
Cinderella kept not moving for him.
I was mostly focusing on Slow for that fight. Okay, so now we're gonna see an interesting moving tech from Slower, if he's managing to pull it off. Yep, he got it. You basically just want to lock on to those... Oh, no, okay. Now he can choose whether he tries it again or... Okay, he's gonna try it again.
I mean, he's got the time.
For that. He should leave them. Okay, he did. What you basically do is you have to shot lock Sonic Shadow, and whatever you hit, whatever you mark with it, you just dash towards it. This time he got it. And you can abuse the bulbs up here to basically dash up there and get the shot lock Flame Salvo, which is our main damaging tool in beginner mode.
Yeah, it is. Because of some other enhancements we're going to do with our commands, it's going to be the pretty much the most broken shot lock possible.
Yeah, because Flame Salvo, like the name says, is a flame attack or a fire typed attack. And because it's fire typed, we can enhance it with abilities called Fire Boost. And we can get up to 3 of those in one run. One is guaranteed, second one is average, and third one is if you get lucky.
Yeah.
Which is why we buy 6 fires in this menu or in this shop. And yeah, basically the more fire boosts you have, the stronger your Flame Salvo will be. If you get 1, the entire run will get slowed down. If you get 2, then the run is average, and for the third one only saves time on the last boss and one boss near the end. Koba had a little bit of trouble getting that Fission Faraga.
Yeah, so they go up. There's a trick that we use with the bushes right by that wall that allows us to kind of get up on a wall that we're not supposed to be able to get onto yet. So they can then use sliding dash, get across the gap, and get over to a chest that contains a very high level command that we otherwise would not have access to. And Riku using a safety tactic on that movement for Flame Salvo to make sure he didn't miss it. Probably a very smart choice with the way his run's been going so far.
Yeah, Slower actually has really good luck with the dealing drop. He already got the Aqua level 2, which gives us Mind Square as well, which is our other main damaging tool with the Aqua dealing. So we'll basically use Magnera into Fandara or Mind Square into Magnera to just hit all the enemies as hard as possible. The finisher, however, changes as well as soon as you get 2 drops. The finisher, in this case, I don't know the name, but you get 3 orbs which will fly around you and then you smack them at the enemies. It's only useful in this fight. In this fight, it's useful if you use Magnera, if you get it towards the end, because then it shreds through the enemies almost as fast as the normal finisher. And yeah, after this fight though, once we reach the next road, it will... Drop. Oh, yeah, he got it. There we go. Yeah, but after this fight, we usually turn that finisher off because it will be slower for any other part of the game now. And Slow is getting up to Magic Mirror now. This strat used to be annoying because we used to use Strike Rate, where we would take a step forward, use Strike Rate, and then try to hit him as fast as possible. Use the
Strike Rate strat.
Oh, you could... Oh, okay.
I just saw him create it, so that tells me he's probably gonna use the Strike Rate strat.
Like that strat, it's not too bad, but it's a little bit more harder. Yeah. The sliding dash basically makes this strat way easier because you jump, you sliding dash, and then just attack him, and he usually dies. Just like you could see on Slower's end now.
Slower's already out of it and gone.
Okay. So Koba's running up to Magic Mirror now. I think you only got one dealing drop, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Riku got two though, so
yeah,
that's something.
Well, because Riku was the only one that, Koba was the only one that didn't get it in the first section.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Koba just ran up to him and used the sliding dash. I guess that works too, but I didn't know that. Okay, nice. He got him down. And yeah, Magic Mirror now is a relatively easy fight due to the sliding dash strat. And yeah, he got him too. Nice. Everything went well.
So it all mattered on how that shot lock went off.
Okay, yeah, on the way back, what we didn't mention, they used the shot lock movement with the Sonic Shadow as well, just because it's faster to move across the room with that. Even though you have to wait a second or two to mark your targets. Okay, Slow is already approaching Radiant Garden.
We have to stop by Yinsen's tower. It's mostly just cutscenes, but we do grab a cure chest in there, but...
Yeah, the menu is usually done there. So.
Really mess with that for a bit.
Hmm.
I'm not actually doing it with the cure chest. Like, we don't use cure... I've never seen anybody actually use cure for a bit. Like, we put it on so
we don't use... Yeah, we level it up, combine it with Arrow and Fleeting Crystal, but that's going to be later.
Ignore it until the end.
Yeah, until the end. Or we used to equip it in Olympus Coliseum, but now we equip it later, as far as I know. Okay, Sloa has a little bit of trouble with the worst part of this forced fight, which is those blue enemies. I don't know their name currently.
You know, I knew it a second ago, and it just went out of my head. The problem with those is, it's not that they're immune to Magnera, it's that they don't always come close enough to automatically get caught in it.
Yeah, they're just far away enough to not get caught in it, and they usually don't move towards you until you, like, either push them away or, like, you have to provoke them properly, which makes them annoying. So, what we didn't talk about earlier, which I think everybody used in the Dwarf Woodlands forced fight, is the D-Link canceling. We sometimes, when, like, every time you use a command, it goes on cooldown. You have to wait until the command is recharged, but we can avoid that by leaving the D-Link, gathering the D-Link points again, like enough D-Link points to go into the Aqua D-Link again, and every command will be out of cooldown. We will use that strat or that mechanic being used way more often later on, but it was already used in a forced fight, so we just wanted to address that now. We will see that later used very often, though. Okay, Koba is on the second wave, and Riku's approaching the mysterious place.
Of cutscene skipping.
Yeah.
Because this is a speedrun, we have no time for story.
No, who cares about story? Okay. Oh, he did. Did he catch everything with Magnera? I think he did. I'm not sure. Nah, he did. Actually... Okay. Oh, and he got a fleeting crystal. Okay, that's good.
I haven't seen him get a second shimmering.
I haven't actually paid attention to that, but I think he didn't get now.
I've only seen... So, in an ideal run, you're going to get 3 shimmering crystals. And that can actually impact a lot of how the rest of the game... How fast the rest of the game goes. Because we're going to use those shimmering crystals to end up boosting damage, which we'll talk about more when they get to that menu. But they get 1 guaranteed out of Merlin's house. The others all come from...
oh, the Magnera got cancelled.
The drops that come out of the... Mostly the little pots, like the little blue guys and little red guys.
The Mandrakes can actually drop that too, which I recently just found out.
Yeah, but it's not that common.
It's not common, no. But yeah, basically what the shimmering crystals, or crystals in general, do, you combine them in the item slot of the command fusion. If you use a shimmering crystal, you get some sort of status boost or status defense, like fire resistance or fire boost.
Right.
And
we
we
use
are
it to get fire boost.
exactly. We aim for fire boost because that amplifies the damage of our shotlock flame salvo by a lot, and it has a big impact on the rest of the game. You can easily lose like 2 or 3 minutes by not getting any drops from that. Maybe even more. It depends.
I mean, not having shimmering crystals is not like going to keep you from being able to finish the run. It's just going to be how fast can you finish the run.
Exactly. The last boss is really horrible with 1 shimmering crystal though.
Yeah. I've done it.
Yeah, I've done it too. But it's
Another
not
fleeting
nice.
crystal for Koba. So Slow is currently fighting a boss called Trinity Armor. So currently, you start off by attacking its legs. And then it causes it, when you get rid of the legs, it causes it to kind of break apart. It will break apart anyway, but you want to not have the legs still around when it breaks apart. And then we just finish killing off the pieces. He'll kill off the arms, like so, and then finish attacking the head. You cannot kill off the head without killing off the arms and legs.
Exactly. What we basically use here, as you can see on Slower's end right now, is we use the command style Firestorm. Command styles, basically for those who don't know too much about the game, you have the command bar, the command meter above your command menu, and using attacks consecutively fills it up. If you use commands in that, it fills it up as well with special properties. If you, for example, use fire commands, like we do most of the time, we get Firestorm as a command style. There are a lot of others, but we will mainly use Firestorm.
Because it'll also get benefits from that fire boost that we're aiming to use a lot of.
Exactly. And as you could see, the finisher, the Firestorm, where Terra jumps in the air, charges up an attack, and unleashes like, I don't know, 12 little fire pillars that just obliterates anything. I think it usually takes like a bar or 1.5 bars from Trinity Armor, if you aim it properly. Okay, Slower is already getting to the actually like one of the more difficult parts if you don't know how to do it, the grinding. It's pretty precise, like
it's gorgeous if you do it right.
Yeah, if you do it right, it's really good, and it's really satisfying to pull that off. But oh, he sold the arrow. Oh,
I got an extra arrow.
No,
Yeah,
he sold his only arrow. Okay. Yeah, he's pretty low on money because he didn't pick up the S-Nut chest. Oh, he's still missing money. That is unfortunate.
Well, he can kinda...
He
might be able to get away with it with a little bit of extra grinding.
Yeah, he can do one more round of grinding.
Well, why did you do that?
That is interesting now. Okay, at least he got the confusion strike now.
Yeah. You should put the other binding strike on though.
He should. That's true. I mean, he could do now 6 rounds instead of 5 rounds of grinding, just to also make the Neverland grinding slow. And he reverted too early. Like, we're talking about the D-Link cancelling earlier. You have to do it before you collect the blue orbs, the D-Link orbs. Otherwise, they will get implemented into your current...
away from you. And that little 1 point is going to be enough to keep you from entering D-Link. Because you'll notice it's the difference. It looks like his bar is full, but it's not actually flowing. And that's what tells us that he can't enter D-Link.
Yes, which makes this grinding section way more tedious, which is like one of the things I meant earlier with it's actually not that easy to do it properly. Like, you have to practice it a lot. And Koba just finished Trinity Armor.
Nice.
I think it was, 2350. Yeah. Okay, now he gets into the grinding part as well.
He got his other magnet.
Riku got the lightning attack from Trinity Armor.
So with that lightning attack, it causes him to actually spin around, and it's a lot harder to hit him, because you don't really want to get caught up in it.
It doesn't do too much damage. Like, in general, the risk of dying in beginner mode starts with, I would say... Actually, with Neverland, because of the final fight there.
If you make a mistake in Trinity Armor, like a major mistake, you will die in Trinity Armor.
Yeah, that's true. Like, this beginner mode, it's easier to die than in other games. In KH2 or KH1, you usually don't die that easily in beginner mode, but here you can die pretty easily if you get unlucky or do major mistakes. Okay, Slower got the grinding back up now. He tries to kill the mandrakes now. You shouldn't aim for them too much if you don't kill all of them, but they can steal your dealing drops, which messes up the grinding as well. And he didn't revert again, which makes him having to leave the world again. Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, it's not too bad. Leaving the world doesn't cost too much time.
Not on PS4 anyway.
Yeah, not on PS4. On PS3 it would be horrible.
Well, for PS3 I would recommend just going back and finding the one flood and pulling that off and coming back.
Yeah. Actually, no, you would have to cross 4 loading zones. Like, it would still be faster, but it costs more time on PS3 than it does on PS4. Okay, Koba is starting with Magnera. I don't know how smart that is, because, yep, it got cancelled. Usually you want to, on the second wave, you usually want to start off with Mind Square, because the big guys will come closer to you, get hit by the Mind Squares just by, like, touching the mines. And then you want to use Gravity.
But that's the problem, is he doesn't have Mind Square because he never got the second drop.
Oh, yeah! Oh,
so he's doing the best he can the best he can in the situation. It's just it's a rough situation to be in.
Okay, Slower.
I'm not seeing shimmering crystals.
Me neither. That's really unfortunate.
And
if everybody gets at least
either.
No, like if everyone gets at least one shimmering crystal, everything would be fine, because there's only 2 fights that get that are faster with 3 shimmering or 2 shimmering drops, but
it'll make the end fight very interesting.
It's not too bad. Like two fire boosts is usually enough for the end fight.
I haven't seen anybody get a second one. That's what I'm concerned about.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah, that's that part right now. What the game also likes to do... No, it's not. But what the game likes to do is, after this grinding section, you usually want to synthesize all the fires, so that's the point where you will use all the shimmerings. Any shimmering that you get afterwards, you cannot benefit from that. What the game likes to do is, in the world after this one, it gives you 3 or 4 shimmerings in a row, which is just the game saying you, hey, here you go. A little bit late, but whatever. Take it or leave it. And yeah, this game likes to fool around the field a little bit.
My honest belief is that this game was created by trolls, and therefore it is a troll in itself.
I mean, it's created by a soccer team, but whatever.
You know. You know, for not getting Aqua's second D-Link, I think Koba's doing a really good job of managing this.
Yeah. He is doing a really good job right now. And it's ridiculous that he hasn't gotten that yet. That's extremely bad luck. At least he got a fleeting like that. The fleeting crystals will... Yeah, the fleeting crystals gives you attack haste, so the attack commands or the... Yeah, the attack commands get filled up faster, the cooldown is reduced. Which is useful after the world... once we reach the next world. Not counting Disney time.
I know this is not the most exciting part of the run, as everybody's running around getting a little bit of grinding in. Slower should be wrapping up grinding.
Yeah, he should be done soon. I think it's a 6th round now. Counting the 1 round in the beginning where he had to grind a little bit of money. You usually want to do 4 rounds here. Up to that point you have all your commands leveled up to the point where you want to have them. And by that point you already want to have your shimmering drops. After that we do 1 more round just to get level 14, and wow, Slower got level 15. He's doing a lot of grinding. I think he's going for the shimmering crystal.
That's what I feel like, because I'm like, he should be ready to move on, but...
He is already 1 level higher than what he should be.
Yeah.
Usually.
Yeah, see... I think it looks like
oh no! Riku's Magnera got cancelled from Magic.
Nobody's... Yeah, okay, so he's just gonna go ahead and for it now. He got an HP boost for free out of 1. He's just gonna have to roll with it. They're not getting their shimmering drops.
That's really unfortunate. That makes a lot of fights now pretty hairy. What happened on Riku's end was one of Aqua's passive abilities is Magic Deflector, which means if you get hit with a magic like a Blizzard spell or fire or whatever, you will automatically block, and whatever you do will get just cancelled. So he was about to do the Magnera, but Magic Deflector kicked in and just cancelled the Magnera. It still went on cooldown, but the magnet never showed up, so it basically just wasted time. It's a minor thing.
Okay,
don't notice
Riku
it too
actually
often,
got
but
a
it's
second.
annoying. He got it?
Riku
Okay,
has a
that is
second
good.
Shimmering Crystal. So that definitely gives him an edge at this point.
It does. Like, even though he's behind right now, he will start gaining time from this very moment, because the next boss, like the last boss of this world, already benefits from having 2 Shimmering Crystals or 2 Fire Boosts. And Slow is still grinding. He should be moving on now. He's
I
level
think he's
16.
so used to afterward you do that extra that one last grind, even though he didn't need it at this point.
Now watch him getting Shimmering Seer.
Of course.
Yeah.
So after we make we do that meld where we get put all the fire boosts in, that's usually when we do one last grind to get close to level 15, if not hit level 15.
And I think you only need to hit level 14, but you want to get as high as possible, so the Neverland
like
rank
100
gets
away
lower.
from 15.
Okay, that's interesting. I usually leave a little bit earlier, but that makes my Neverland a little bit slower.
Right, that's what makes my Neverland so fast.
Yeah. Okay,
But
slow.
usually if you do it right, it's pretty given.
That's true.
So Slow is fighting
He
Break.
got something? Ah, it didn't show what he got. He got something from the enemies. Koba might have gotten a Shimmering. It didn't show it though.
He's already melded.
Oh, you already Oh, okay. So, Slow is currently fighting Break, and it's... If you played one of the earlier Kingdom Hearts games, or if you play Kingdom Hearts 2, you will recognize this boss. It's basically the human form of Zigbar. And yeah, for this fight we already start using the Shotlock Flame Salver all the time. And as Slow only has 1 fire boost, this fight is way slower than what it should be. And
But that was
he
still a
swag
really
killed
nice
him.
fight.
He swag killed him with that reflect. Nice.
So we can reflect his heavy hits back, because when he's up in the sky and we can't attack him otherwise, we still can reflect his hits back at him. Otherwise, it's just all using Flame Salvo, and that's that swag.
It doesn't happen too often. Like, those deflected shots don't do a lot of damage. Okay, Slow can catch a little breather now. Now we're going for Kingdom cards.
Because the creators of this
Rumble
game decided
Racing.
that minigames were a fun requirement because they realized, I think, that everybody would go to 100 Acrewood and just, not.
Yeah, they needed the supplement for 100 Acrewood, so why not doing minigames in Disney Town then? So this is basically, it's called Rumbling Racing. It's Mario Kart with Unversed and Pete and Huey, Dewey, Louie. You just want to complete 5 laps. You usually do it in around 2 minutes. You don't have to do too much here. You brake a little bit to cut corners, and that's all.
And try not to get hit by tornadoes.
Exactly. You should try to not get hit by the tornadoes that are coming up now. There are 2 of them. The problem is if you get hit, you get slowed down. You get whirled up into the air, and it slows you down by a lot. If you get hit too often, then you might actually lose and have to retry that, which is 2 minutes just straight up loss, or 3 minutes even. Oh yeah, Riku catched up by a lot, even though Koba's Riku break fight was faster.
It's the effect of having them Shimmering Crystals.
Did Koba get any Shimmering Crystals?
I don't remember seeing them.
Because his fight was way faster than Riku's. Riku started, I think, at least 10 seconds earlier.
Riku also got caught up in the shot lock when Braig went back up, so he didn't get that extra damage from the heavy hits back.
Yeah.
I think if he had gotten the heavy hits
in
back,
general,
it would have finished really quickly. And he had some issues. Braig was kind of trolling him and jumping around when he went to go actually shot lock on.
Okay, Koba's approaching Rumbling Racing section now as well.
Everybody's gonna be doing Rumbling Racing. Kingdom cards.
Yeah.
I have a donation here. If you have,
Yeah.
It's a pretty quick one.
Go ahead.
It was a donation from Sin for $10. No comment. That's going towards saving the animals. So donation tracker.
Oh, we're at 5,800 already. That's a lot.
Yeah, that is so much. We're almost. I mean, I think we're less than $1,000 away from surpassing Winter Pride, which is a ton of money, which is very exciting. What's save kill at? Save kill is at 680 for save and 450 for kill. So get those donations in if you want to change it. That's our next incentive.
Okay. So, oh wait, are you still? You want to add something or? Otherwise, I would continue with Slowers. Oh, he muted himself already. Okay. So.
They did, yeah.
Slower reached the next world, Olympus Coliseum. Basically a staple world of Kingdom Hearts. The first fight is a forced fight where you want to abuse the D-Link cancelling to just get rid of all the enemies as fast as possible. I think it's 4 waves of enemies in total.
I think so.
Yeah, and usually you do 1 magnet, 1 Fandara, then 1 finish, and the wave gets destroyed if you don't get unlucky with the enemy's movement. Especially Floods like to troll in this fight.
Yeah, Floods like to troll all the time.
In the last wave, there's usually that 1 Flood that does not get caught in the magnet. I just saw it got caught at the very end for Slower. Like at the end of the magnet. He's level 17 already. He won't have to grind the Neverland at all. Okay, Koa finished up Kingdom Cards, and Riku
That was actually the point of my grind.
Oh, okay.
I actually do extra grinding to 15. I just wanted to comment on that.
You are at 16.
You are 16 already.
Yeah, yeah, I'm still working in progress on that.
Okay.
No, that's okay. Like what we just mentioned, like that's the usual approach. Usually, you go to like 14, almost 15, but obviously everybody can do any strat they like, and especially with getting level 15 means you don't have to grind later at all.
And there's a lot of small variations on the run between runners.
Like everybody just has their own preferences in some points. And yeah, Slow is now doing the cups, which are horrible, and I don't like them at all.
There's 2 strats that we use per round. We're either going to use our shot lock, which we don't want to get to full because it doesn't take a full set of 15 to kill these things, and also that will create a slow while we have to wait for it to hit. Or we use the magnet fire combo to put us into Firestorm, where within its magnet and Firestorm attacks.
So basically you want to use shot locks on round 1, 2, and 4, and for any other round you do magnet and fire except for the last round, but we'll come to that in a minute. And you want to try and save up the Firestorm finisher for round 6 and 9. You don't have to, and sometimes you won't be able to, but that's when it's the most effective, because they're the most enemies with most health on screen.
Yep.
Koba and Riku are actually really close again. Or still really close.
This is a very solid run.
Like everybody's actually doing not too bad, especially for Slower not having 2 shimmerings.
Just 2 hype races, one after another. Let's see if we can keep it up.
How good we didn't miss any mandrakes. So in round 9, you can actually miss a mandrake in the magnet.
And round 10 is jellyfish. You will see them later 2 more times. You basically just use magnet and they will die. You use it 2 times and then 1 or 2 attacks. Because they have only 1 HP, they just get killed by the usage of magnet.
Oh, God.
Oh, what?
He just got his first shimmering drop.
Oh, yeah, that's what I meant earlier. Like, the game just likes to give you shimmering drops at the point where you not only not need them anymore, but where you can't use them anymore. Oh, yeah, we should explain the menu of what Slower is doing. He's melding now the fires we have, or we had, with binding strikes or confusing strikes for fire surges. We don't have any use for the fires anymore, because once the command is maxed out, you get the ability permanent, so we have those fire boosts forever now. And fire surges are just way more important for us because, first of all, Terra is a strength-based character, so normal attack moves are actually doing more damage than magic. And because of the attack haste we got through the fleeting crystals, we will get faster access to fire surges. Surges are just good in that game in general. You want to explain the Zac fight, even though it's like not too much?
So with Zac, what we're really doing is we're using that flame salvo spam to really kind of disable him from using his kind of overpowered abilities that'll interrupt us. And then instead of emptying our focus meter because we're going to need it for the second phase, we're also taking some time to just hit him with those those fire surges, because fire surge does have a small interrupt and as well as a couple iframes for us. The goal for pretty much the rest of the run is, can we abuse iframes?
Yeah, for Zac, that's another fight where I see a lot of variations. For example, I see a lot of people either equipping Cura at this point, which you can have just for safety, even though you usually don't need it on Zac yet, but after that you will need it. Or you can equip Ether, what I saw as well. You basically use the 2 shot locks on the first phase of Zac, then use an Ether and kill him with the Fire Surge. So you can use 2 shot locks or basically the same strat on Zac 2, just like on Zac 1. And ooh, he got caught.
Because as you saw, Slow got caught on that, and that's what you're trying to avoid.
But I mean, he only got 1 fire boost, so
yeah.
Every fight from now on will actually be bad, like actually slow, because 1 fire boost makes a big difference here.
Which is what's actually giving Riku an edge at this point in time.
Yep. It seems like I don't know about Koba, but it seems like he only got 1 as well, because he had to use more than 1 fire surge for Zac. Usually you use 2 shot locks, 1 fire surge, end of the fight. And yeah, on the second part of Zac, you can also use the Ventus D-Link again with haste, which is fast as well, but you can also just stun lock him with fire surges or use the Ether flame salvo strat. It's player preference. And Slow is doing the best jelly fight now, the Kingdom Cards jelly crossover.
Spam X to win?
Yeah. Kingdom Hearts in a nutshell. Press X to win. It's a given fight. You lose random seconds depending on the positioning of the jellies and of your own positioning.
Because not every jelly that you can see is actually attackable.
Exactly. Like, it's the same with the 1k heart or 1000 heartless in KH2. If there are a lot of enemies, what the game does is it shows you. I know in Kingdom Hearts 2 it's 26 at 1. No. A little bit more. It's around 30, 35 at once. On BBS it's a little bit less because it used to be a PSP game. And everything else you see is just a background 2D picture with 2 or 3 different like textures. So like you're basically just seeing 2 or 3 pictures changing up all the time. It creates the illusion of a ton of enemies, but you don't have that many enemies on screen. That's basically with every fight where you have those jellyfish. And Slow already finished the first fight, that's good.
Yeah.
And Riku is actually really close now. He is not far away from Slow anymore, because that 1 extra fire boost...
Well, and Slow's gonna have a small advantage in Neverland because he won't need to grind.
That's true, but...
So we'll see how...
It's going to be horrible. Usually you kill him with 2 shot locks. I actually don't remember what it is with 1 fire boost. So now it's a very interesting part. Actually, no, never mind. Slow is not going for the strat. We'll see if Koba or Riku do it, but I'll try to
one of my
explain it
favorite
now.
strats, but
It is really fun, but if you screw it up, then it's actually terrible.
well, and
'cause-
sometimes the game just decides that you're not going to get it. Even if
Yeah,
you do
so the strat in general is you use the Cinderella D-Link, which you usually don't see in the speedrun anymore at all, as far as I know. You used to use it on Terra Crit as well, but then we changed the strats and whatever. But what you want to use is the ability Enchanted Step, which is basically just another surge, but barrier surge, an ability that Aqua usually has. For some reason, it has the probability of being able to launch you very high, because you can lock onto one of the cannons on the top level where you exit the room out of. You can jump, lock onto it, and use the barrier surge or Enchanted Step, and it will just launch you up to the platform. You will ledge grab, and that's all. You don't have to activate the computer, don't have to climb on the boxes. You basically just skip that part. And Riku's going for it, and he got it. There you go. You could see it.
Yep.
He just got launched up, and that's all.
Occasionally, even though you do everything else right, he will just not grab the ledge.
Sometimes you don't even go up because the lock-on just screws you up, but it's relatively rare, but
And
it can
Koba went for
unfortunately
it
happen.
and got it.
Nice. Okay.
So
But Sloa has trouble on experiment now because of one fire boost. One fire boost. You only have one fire boost. Like we said it a lot already, but one fire boost is terrible. Usually you don't want to continue with that.
there's a small possibility for Riku to get what's called gunless, where he doesn't actually go into the guns, which saves a lot of time.
If you get lucky, he goes into the guns while you're shot locking, and you basically
Like that.
kill the guns. Exactly, just what I said. Like he went
I think
in there.
this went just a little late.
No, one fire
Oh,
surge
there
and
it goes.
that's all. Yeah. Now he has to find him, and that's basically it. Now, the rest of the fight is just flame salvoing again. It's not a hard fight, but it randomly loses your time, just like every other fight.
He's
Trying
now
to catch
pulled
up with
ahead.
chat now. Okay. Okay, I think I caught up. Wasn't too much.
So Riku is headed to.
Oh, Riku's first now. Okay.
Everybody's heading off to Neverland now.
Yeah.
Neverland, we're gonna have our last shopping trip, but we're also gonna introduce to this enemy here in this first forced fight that is actually immune to magnets.
Yeah, I think it's the first and only normal unverse that is actually immune to magnet. It's the... how are they called?
I have no idea, but they're the big leaf-looking things.
I only know the German name right now. But that's not really benefiting here. Basically, those brown apes that you see on Riku's screen now, that big brown ape, he's immune to magnet. He will not get staggered, he just gets a tiny bit of damage. You want to kill him with fire surges or shot locks or just firestorm command. Shot locks is something I just saw being used by Sonic in his world record. I haven't
use
been
shot locks
seeing
on,
it too often.
The birds when they get out of my.
I just usually try to like catch up to them and magnet them, but yeah, you can also shot lock them so you don't have to catch up to them. Basically, this fight is relatively bad as well. The birds can lose you a lot of time, and depending on how aggressive those apes are, you can get stunned a little bit as well. Oh, he used an ether. Okay. Oh, he actually went for the ether strat on Zack. I didn't notice. I
Yeah.
just saw that it's equipped. Yeah, Riku's about to finish that fight up now. He only has the monkey and I think 2 of those flasks left.
And Nova's not far behind. I don't think Sloa is either.
No,
Sloa's on the
Slow
last wave.
Slower will... like, he's not too far behind, but you saw that now. On the grinding, he had a big edge, and now he's behind Riku, who had the worst grinding. Like,
It's-
timing-wise, and
It's
that...
honestly all because of those shimmering crystals. If you guys don't understand the importance of getting those shimmering crystals so that you get that fire boost, yet this is
we
the
will
best
say it
way
at
to
least
show
5 more
you.
times, because every single fight is
So
determined by shimmering crystals or not.
You're gonna see now Riku getting into this last shopping trip. He's gonna sell off anything that's not Fire Surge and Cure, so that he can buy a couple more Fire Surges and as many Mega Ethers as the game will let him buy.
Usually, if you got,
Ooh,
I would
5.
say average to good money, you just sell the Magneras, and we don't.
Oh, he didn't
we
sell
usually
everything.
don't want to. Wait, what do you mean?
I was noticing that Koba didn't sell everything. So he only got
Oh
5
yeah,
Mega
yeah.
Ethers.
Usually you can just sell the Magneras, and then you buy 3 Fire Surges and as many Mega Ethers as you can. You need only 3 though, if you don't die to the final fight, because you have only the 3 inventory slots for Mega Ether. So as long as you don't die, you don't need more than 3. Wait, Koba did not equip Sonic Impact. I really don't like that.
I don't do it.
Yeah, wait, you not equip it or?
I do not.
I've seen a lot of people doing that, and I hate it because that Fire Surge never destroys the rock for me that's blocking the way.
So I've never had any problems. I've never had any issues with the Fire Surge not destroying the rock wall.
Maybe it's just my positioning, I'm not sure. But I usually really dislike that, and I just go for the Sonic Impact. Riku went for it as well. It's basically the Sonic Impact is just the secondary dash after the air slide on the or the ground dash. It can hit enemies, it can knock them back, it does negligible damage. You just use it to get over the bigger ledges and destroy the rocks. It's slower to use it as well.
So we're heading into the top tier boss fight that is Peter Pan.
Bandit.
The goal is to get off usually you only need 2 shot locks, but they're gonna have to use a third one because of the fact that they didn't get enough fire boosts. You don't actually have to get his health down to 0. The fight stops before that point.
I think it's like 50% or something like that. You can, if you don't get any shimmering drops, you have to do 3 shot locks. If you get 1 drop like Riku got, you do 2 shot locks, and you can do another shot lock, but using a Fire Surge is usually faster because he's on the ground either way.
Depends
if you have
on
3
how
fire
the movement
boosts,
goes.
this is one of the 2 fights where 3 fire boosts matter, because after the second shot lock, Peter Pan dies. Now we're gonna see the D-Link cancel a lot, because they will use Magnet in this fight from Aqua to kill, I think, like 60, no, it's actually like 100 jellyfish, up to 100, or 200 this time. Well, okay, that, like, you will shred through the jellyfish, because like we said earlier, they have 1 HP, one little blow on them already destroys them. So we're just gonna D-Link cancel a lot to use as many Magneras as possible, as we sold our magnets earlier to get money. And even if we would have those magnets, it would still be slow, just because D-Link canceling is faster. Riku has a little bit of trouble because, oh no, he finished. I don't know if it was because he positioned himself weirdly, but the jellyfish just didn't want to die. What jellyfish also can do, which is the reason why this fight sucks, is that they can interrupt you by just attacking you. And for some reason, everything they do just interrupts you immediately. They just have to touch you and they interrupt you. You try to do a magnet, they interrupt you, and you have to kill a few of them manually to cancel the D-Link again, because you usually don't want to wait for the Magnera. Okay, Koba's going up to Error Squeeze.
Jedi Master Ericus.
Yeah. Did you know that Ericus is an anagram for square? Mind blow! So, this fight is Fire Surge spam. You just spam Fire Surge, and if he does those balls of light, you usually want to deflect them, but if you're too close, it doesn't happen. You can deflect the blades here as well, but they can be just mean and go around your block and hit you from the back. Doesn't happen too often, but it's annoying when it happens. And Ericus can randomly block and counter you, just like you saw on Koa's end. I think Ericus is the first endgame fight where you can actually die if you get really unlucky with the counters, because he can deal a lot of damage if you get caught in a combo, or if he DMs like he does right now and you get caught in it.
So
You usually just
in old strats where he actually attacks while he's in Dark Impulse, and then Fire Surge is outside of it.
It used to be a strat. I thought it's slow in general. I just basically Fire Surge through him, but if I don't have any Fire Surges, then I attack as well. And Koba just finished Ericus.
I use the Fire Surge, especially if I have all my attack haste.
Oh yeah, if you have all your attack haste, oh, Riku died on Ericus. No, what? Oh, he got caught in the fire pillars.
Mm-hmm.
Like he tried to use the Sonic Impact, which is generally not a good idea, but in this scenario, he got unlucky with the positioning of the fire pillars, and they just caught him. That's unfortunate. That death cost like a minute or 1.5, I want to say, but
Because of where he was at in the fight.
the thing is, the race is still not determined. We still have 3 boss fights for Koba and 4 for the other 2 left, and the last one is the one that makes or breaks the run.
I have lost so many PBs to that last fight too.
I only because the fight is slow. I usually don't die anymore. Like at some point you can get it
I
around.
wasn't even
and
to
just-
dying. It was one time just like I couldn't get the right. I can get him in the right patterns.
Yeah, like sometimes you just avoid it, but we're gonna talk about it once we get there. Now,
Yeah.
wait, did Koba do the name? Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah.
I was thinking right now because I didn't see it earlier.
So he manipulated the tornadoes in Twister Canyon because if we get caught in those, we have to fight oversized unversed, and we really don't want to because that's slow. So there's a way to kind of manipulate whether or not you interact with them at all.
So Koba's going up to the final fights now. It's Vanitas and Xehanort. Goal of this fight is to kill Vanitas. Xehanort usually dodges most of your attacks. On the PSP version, you didn't even have to deplete the first partial bar of Vanitas to end the fight. For some reason, I don't know if it's on PS3, but on PS4 as well.
It's on
You have
PS3.
to, okay, you have to kill Vanitas entirely, which sucks. But it's not
Koba
too
did it
bad.
nice and quick and easy.
Yeah, he got it really good. And he got lucky that Vanitas didn't teleport. I think maybe once, but that's all. So now he's going to Xehanort. This fight can be really easy. From the end of Vanitas' fight to the end of this fight, it's usually around 40 seconds. Because you use fire surges, he most of the time gets interrupted by that. And he will go into the command style Firestorm now. He may do a few hits in that, but that's not too important. After this, he will go into Blade Charge, which is what we actually want for this fight, because you will see how much damage that does now. There we go, half of the bar gone, all of the bar gone. And
One
it's
last
just-
hit. There we go.
Blade Charge just kills Xehanort immediately. And now we're getting to the interesting part.
The other 2 guys will be entering into that Vanitas and Xehanort fight.
Yeah, the other 2 are entering final fights now, and Koba is actually doing Terranaut now. It's just Xehanort possessing Terra's body. We call it Terranaut to abbreviate it. Some call it Possess Terra or Possess Xehanort or whatever. This fight is completely determined by how much luck you get with his pattern, like if he dashes around like he does for Koba, and how many fire boosts you have. If you have 1 fire boost, GG. Slow will have a bad time fighting that fight. 2 fire
Koba.
boosts is okay, but I think, yeah, 2 fire boosts is okay. That's what you usually have. But with 3 fire boosts, this fight can save so much time with an average pattern as well. Because 3 fire boost, this is the second fight where 3 fire boosts matter.
Yep.
Actually does a lot more damage
And
here.
you'll see after they do 3 flame salvos, they use one of the mega ethers that they equipped a little bit ago. And we bought from Neverland because those mega ethers completely restore your focus bar, allowing you to do more flame salvos, because we want to avoid fire surges because it'll still open us up to attacks from him, and he can hit us really, really hard.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people have died to this already. Oh, he's DMing now.
Yep.
Also, with the Mega Ethers, you have 3 in your inventory during a fight, so you can use up to 12 maxed out flame salvos. He'll probably guard the meteors. Yeah, he guards them. That's good. You can use up to 12 flame salvos. If he doesn't die at that point, depending on his health, you will just fire surge. There's not much else you can do, but he should die. I don't know about one fire boost, but yeah. The reason why you usually
depends on how many extra hits you get.
Yeah, exactly. You can get up to 51 hits. You usually get mid-30s because he usually dodges the first barrage, and then he will get stun locked by that. The reason you usually want to have more than 3 Mega Ethers is because if you die, you don't want to continue but to restart the fight. If you restart the fight though, your used items will be still stated as used, and you will get the items from your backpack or whatever into your command deck, or from your inventory to your command deck. That means if you bought 3 Mega Ethers, use all of the Mega Ethers, and have to retry the fight, you start without Mega Ethers. If you continue, however, you will keep your used items, but you will have to do all of the fights before that again. Ooh, Koba got a full flamethrower.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if Koba doesn't die,
done here in a second.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much GG. He shouldn't die anymore. He can just, yep. Oh, he just dodges everything. Hey,
there you go. Time on Koba.
Time on Koba. I think it was 39. No, wait. I was watching. Wait, it's 148.
Yo.
Nice. Okay.
How bad did I do?
Not too bad, actually. For not getting the second dealing drop for an Acro, you did the grind.
No, the
really
second
well.
dealing drop actually saves time later on because it's less actions to get to the Magnera Thundera combo.
You usually want to have Mind Square though, so having Mind Square actually speeds it up.
I mean, it only speeds it up during the grinding. That's the only time.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Yeah, during the grinding it speeds it up.
After that, it's technically a time save.
Yeah, definitely. Okay,
and I didn't get the second drop, which any drop. Shimmering
Slow got it by
Riku's
HP.
the only one that got a second one.
Let me open the streams.
Slow got a HP up from any of the command fusions.
So,
Yeah, it's more basic.
Riku's actually using the other strat to deal with that DM by using his shot lock and releasing it at
I went
point
safety.
in time so that he can use those iframes to not get hit.
Yeah, what I did was I don't know if you explained it already, because like I had one fire boost, so I couldn't afford to waste any shot lock gauge.
And time on Riku.
Yeah, the time already stopped, so yeah.
Oh, yeah. I want to see what his final time was gonna be.
Yeah, no, it stopped.
What? Stop timer? No.
Yeah, somebody stopped.
My nemesis.
What was
timer.
What was my time?
1:00:48.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's pretty good.
Alright, Slow's just got a little bit left here.
Riku finished second. And okay, Slow is waiting for the meteors to he used it to no. Oh,
he's out. He's out.
Okay. He survived it. Okay. Oh no, he's auto. Oh, that's the problem about one fire boost. He didn't kill him. He has to kill him with fire. So this is getting interesting now.
Wait, Sloa had one fire boost too?
Yeah.
Yes.
Riku was the only one that had 2.
Yeah.
I'm calling it. I'm not doing that again. This is impossible.
That
GG,
sucks.
That's the worst
GG.
ability.
GG.
Like I pressed the button. I missed it a frame early. Like I would have actually survived there.
Okay, you could perfectly see that, guys. Having one fire boost sucks. 2 in this race got 1 fire boost, which is way below average. And it just sucks, and
just
nobody
so
wants to
dumb.
have that.
It was such a good run, and then like it was such a good run for me. Like I was like, and then
you just did well.
Then just got one shimmering crystal, and I'm like, wow, it's just so stupid. Like
I popped off during Ericus. I was like, yo, this is going like even with one fire boost. I was just like,
yeah, your Ericus was really fast.
I was like, all right.
Well, like
let's not mess. I was going safe too. I was like, I'm not gonna mess around with Ericus.
Yeah. Well, like the thing was like what happened with me is the fact that like I did extra grinding because Because I always seem to go like be a level behind or something. I'm not sure exactly why. So I always just go for like level 15 on before I start doing my melds, and then I go.
No, this time I think you ended with mid 16 somewhere, but
Yeah.
Is Sloa not gonna finish?
I'm not finishing.
Okay.
it's okay. One fire boost sucks.
Yeah, that's like impossible. I mean, you saw me go through that whole thing.
Like it is possible.
No, you have to save it. You can't use it on the meteors. That's the problem. If you use it on the meteors, you will lose your gauge.
Like I had no gauge.
Yeah.
Or else I would have. Like actually, it was like because even the ultimate was the ultimate attack or whatever it is.
Yeah. You have to like time your shot locks perfectly. I actually ran out. I ran out and I had to use a.
I ran out too because I didn't have enough damage to actually kill him and he kept trolling me with his dashes.
Yeah, I had just enough. I got lucky and I got just enough to kill him with one fire surge.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It happens.
Yeah.
But I mean, I had fun. That's all that matters.
How close was this?
Really good.
It was pretty close actually.
Yeah. Like at some point Slow was leading by Slow. Your beginning was insane.
It was insane. Like, did you see that?
Some of the best beginning fights I've ever seen.
Like what Slow said.
Your orbs were good. Your first fight in Enchanted Dominion was ridiculous.
That was, dude. The boss fight in Enchanted Domain was on point.
All of you got jumpless on the Wheelmaster.
Did we really?
Insane.
Yeah, we did.
All of you got
All of us did.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even think about it.
It was insane. Yeah, it's just like that was insane. But then it's like you guys kind of caught up with me because like I said, I did extra grinding because.
Yeah, no,
I did extra grinding, but like that's because then I could skip it and Neverland.
You guys just got marathon luck. You
Yeah.
just got marathon luck.
Yeah.
Nothing much to say about this.
Yeah. I think they're ready to move on to the next.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
I just want to say thanks.
I hope you guys enjoyed.
I'm gonna
at least.
offline now.
I'll hop in there after
I
you.
just want to say thanks for having all of
People
us.
stop talking.
Yep.
Yes.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
It was amazing.
Thanks,
Thank you for the race, guys.
I'll be sure to stay to watch some more. Tell your
Definitely.
friends.
Yeah,
Okay.
Much as I
good
can.
job in the race. Riku and Sloa
Good job.
and
Yeah.
Koba.
Koba, right? Koba won it.
GG, guys.
Yeah, good job.
Koba won.
Yeah, we should
Thanks
leave
for
now
the-
so they can continue. I'm gonna.
Thanks for the commentary as well.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
No,
Alright, we're gonna switch now.
GG.